right, well.
All right, we're live.
We're
Reaction.
going live.
Live reaction.
So welcome to Pure Delusion.
Live.
Live.
The live experience.
Yeah, we're going live because we want to talk about Game of Thrones, the Spoils of War recap / reaction.
Right.
I guess we can introduce ourselves. My name's Clayton.
I'm Samir.
And Tom?
So there's really not going to be any editing to this video. We're just going live because, you know, we want to get this reaction to you as quickly as possible.
Immediately.
So we want our videos to do better, so maybe this is a way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So we're talking about the Spoils of War, Episode 4, Season 7 of Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
So let's just talk about favorite scene. What about you, Tamir?
Favorite scene was.
I mean, is there even a need to talk about the favorite
It's
scene?
the end.
It's gotta be
the
that.
fight. The fight was sick. I mean, I guess if I had to pick a favorite fight part of the fight scene, it was I guess when Jaime ran up on her and the dragon. Like I just didn't think for a second he would have the goal, the balls to charge her with that spear. I thought he was totally gonna lunge it and turn the horse around. But Jaime, he fully committed.
What'd you think of the scene, Tom?
I gotta say, like, Bronn's one of my favorite characters, and the producers had me sweating. Like, I was kind of worried for my man Bronn there for a minute, because they had a couple, like, little instances where it's like, I don't know, are they gonna kill him? But I'm glad Bronn survived. Are you guys thinking that's who it had to have been that saved Jaime at the end?
Yeah, because I think
assume.
he was eyeing that horse, I
Yeah.
think. So I think he hopped on that. He killed that Dothraki guy and then hopped on his horse because it was a white horse.
Yeah. The only other person I can think of was that the Tarly guy that Jaime was talking about. That's the only other person I
I'm
can think of.
assuming it's Bronn.
But you have to think, if it's that Tarly guy, then like he basically just ended up getting them both killed anyway, because they're both wearing armor. They're going to get weighed down in that water, and they'll probably drown before they can get out anyway.
Well, I don't know about that.
Well, you know, this is Game of Thrones,
Yeah.
where Daenerys can travel so fast within, you know, one episode.
Yeah.
So
I think if anything, they will literally be able to get out their armor. You'll just see them start taking it off and swimming
We'll see.
and doing, you know, Jaime with his nub, and he'll be.
Well, that's kind of why I think it would have had to have been Bronn,
Yeah.
just because he can still like swim and maybe help Jaime
Yeah.
with his armor.
Yeah, because he doesn't really wear armor. So
it was definitely an epic scene. Now, obviously, I mean,
it was an epic episode.
it was a really good episode. I guess my favorite part of that scene was, you know, just like the reaction of them, like Daenerys flying in, like she was a badass, you know, and the Dothraki, you know, are doing their chants. So it was definitely epic. Now, if I had to pick another scene that I really liked, it was the scene between Jon and Daenerys in the cave. A lot of sexual tension going on there.
Oh, yeah, you can keep that. That wasn't that good of a scene.
It was a pretty good scene.
That
I
was
thought.
alright.
I'll say another scene that I really enjoyed was just the whole Sansa Arya reunion. You know, you got to see them finally get back together, and I thought it was kind of nice because, you know, they both recognize that they've both been through a lot of shit to get back there. Whereas, you know, way back in season 1, you know, you see them kind of butting heads quite a bit. So I thought that was a really nice emotional scene. What do you guys think of Bran right now? Like, what's going on with
I
him?
didn't get to pick my second.
Go
scene.
ahead, go ahead.
Thank you. It is the Arya scene, but it is the combat scene. It is when Sansa and Littlefinger are looking over the balcony and they get to see how she's grown and how different she is. Like, that was the part I love. Just because Sansa looked like shocked. It's like, you know, they've both been through a lot. And she finally can see, like, my little sister may not be just my little sister anymore. She probably will be the one to take me out when I betray her.
I think that's probably worried Sansa a little bit, to be completely honest.
So we want to talk about Bran. I don't know, it creeps me out, you know, and it's like, I guess the episode, you know, Spoils of War, like, war really has warped his mind, you know, like, what he's been through it's just changed him so much.
I don't think it's what he's been through. I think it's what he's now seen.
Yeah, okay.
Because if you think about it, like, once he became one with the Three-Eyed Raven, that's when he changed. It's not, like, all that stuff, it warped his mind a bit, but he was nothing how he is now.
Yeah.
Now he's something else.
You know, I think it's pretty obvious. You know, Bran obviously saw into the future and was able to look into the year 2017 and see that Donald Trump is the president. That's really what fucked him.
Poor Bran. Poor Bran.
Poor Bran. Yeah, so why exactly did Littlefinger give him the dagger to like maybe try and build trust and friendship?
I would say so. I don't think
Of course.
Littlefinger realized that Bran sees quite what he does until he, hit him with his old, chaos is a ladder line, and he's
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
like, oh shit.
That was
Like,
amazing.
Yeah.
He's probably like, that probably like fucked Littlefinger up, which is pretty hard to do because, as we know, Littlefinger is like the master of wit and
He's
that
on-
kind of caught him.
never
Strategy,
short.
yeah, he's definitely a strategist.
Never short for words. And
Yeah.
he was short there.
He was definitely taken aback, like, oh wow,
Oh, man.
chaos is a ladder.
Not really sure. He don't think Littlefinger really thinks he knows what's going on anymore.
No.
So it was actually, I looked online. I believe this is one of the shortest episodes in a long
Understandable.
time. Of
Understandable.
Yeah, I thought it was too, because when the credits started rolling, it was like 5 minutes till. I was like, they still got 5 minutes left. What's going on here?
Yeah.
But regardless,
so
it was a
much.
really good episode. They had a lot of good stuff packed into that
Very good.
hour.
Action filled.
I thought it was definitely the best episode of the season so far.
It was really good.
And I mean, just seeing the dragons, like, that really made the episode.
Yeah.
Seeing them vulnerable.
I was getting worried about Jaime and Bronn because it's like, although Jaime has had he's done some shitty stuff, but his character really has depth. I feel like so. I really didn't want him to die. Obviously, I want Cersei to die, but not Jaime.
Well, here's the thing. Like, I figured he couldn't die for the fact, and I'm always just forward thinking. So when they go to King's Landing, are we really just going to be cutting between scenes of Cersei and who else? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it has to be him.
Yeah.
Well, plus he hasn't fulfilled the prophecy. He's got to kill Cersei. He has to be the one. He is the little brother in the prophecy that's going to kill Cersei. A lot of people think it's going to be Tyrion. I think it has to be Jaime.
Oh, it has to be.
It only makes sense.
Yeah, Tom's referring to, I guess, that when she was a little girl
Mhm.
to
She
like
went
saw
to
the witch.
and
Yeah.
they mentioned the little brother, but she's older than Jaime, so technically it could be Tyrion or Jaime. But I think it only makes sense that it's Jaime, just because it would catch Cersei by so much surprise. And I feel like a scene in which Jaime kills her would have a much greater effect than a scene in which Tyrion kills her, which pretty much anybody could see that coming.
And they've kind of been alluding to that, like when Olenna last episode when they were talking like, oh, Cersei's terrible, she's gonna be the death of your family, and then I think Jaime's gonna be the only one that's gonna be able to stop her.
Yeah, and they've definitely been. I agree with you. They've been alluding that for quite a while. I mean, even if you go back to the season finale for last season, once Cersei kind of takes over and Jaime realizes that she blew up the Sept of Baelor and killed a whole bunch of people in order to get what she wants. I think that's when Jaime really started to realize, who is this person? It's not the person that he fell in love with. And then I think that, the scene with Olenna last week was definitely just to reinforce that a little bit.
Yeah, overall, if I had to rate this episode, I guess I'd give it about a 10.
Yeah, 10. It was great.
Yeah, it was epic.
Great episode. I mean, my biggest gripe about last week was I felt like the fight scenes were not quite as well, drawn out and done as they could have been. This week they were saving it all for this week. I'll just say that.
They definitely blew the CG budget on that dragon. It looked fierce. It looked like Deathwing on steroids. It was amazing.
Props to Bronn for being able to operate that the arrow.
Yeah, giant crossbow.
Yeah.
I guess they must have had a training, session there to get to see.
So what? Well,
I just think it was kind of convenient how that was the only cart that didn't get destroyed.
Of course.
So
it was fate.
Two things. So what happened to the gold, but also I'm really happy about Bronn because that's a character I feel like they've kind of neglected. And I think it's interesting how he wants he wants a castle. That was the deal with Jaime. So is he going to ever get that castle? Probably not.
No, I think he's inevitably going to die, but I'm just glad it wasn't.
I thought it was going to be today. So what happened to the gold? Do you guys think it got burned?
No, I think they're gonna find it.
Okay. Who's gonna find it?
I'm pretty sure it'll be someone with Daenerys' team.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That would be convenient for them if they found the gold.
But that doesn't mean anything to them, though, if you think about it. They don't operate under that metric. They operate under
Loyalty,
power,
yeah.
loyalty. Everything she's gained is usually by force. So
yeah, I would say that's the only reason why it doesn't really make sense. I think it'll just be melted and ruined. Daenerys has no need for gold.
I just figured there would be some type of they're going to use it, or Tyrion's going to use it to I feel like there's going to be some type of backstab move with this gold. Someone's going to find it, and they're going to try to increase their wealth by using it as a piece.
Tyrion kind of had a rough past episode.
That's kind of what I wanted to talk. I wanted to talk a little bit about him tonight as well, because are we starting to see Tyrion question Daenerys a little bit here?
Kind of seemed like it. He kind of was definitely, you could tell
He
his
was
emotional when Jaime, you know, with the whole Jaime thing and Jaime almost dying. So and I think he kind of hit him hard when he like looked on the battlefield and he saw the Lannister men dying. So he's kind of in a tough spot, you know.
Yeah.
He's
And Daenerys even, you know, questions him earlier in the episode, like, do you really want to hurt them? Because
they're your family.
so far all of your plans have failed. You know, she's kind of questioning him, like, are you deliberately setting me up for failure here?
right.
And I think, you know, Tyrion and Varys kind of have very similar motives in that they want peace. You know, they don't want destruction and violence. And I think that's kind of where Tyrion's he's kind of having an internal conflict here, because obviously he believes in Daenerys, but he wants to believe in her because she's different from her father, from his father, but she's starting to show the same kind of capabilities.
I'll say it once, I'll say it twice. A Lannister is always a Lannister. I don't trust Tyrion. He is waiting for the opportune time, and he will take it. And looking at this battle scene, it showed that he is still emotional, and as cold and calculated as he is, he can't help it because he's a Lannister, and he will betray her.
Well, it's you know, it's family. You know, it's hard to cut that tie.
He obviously has feelings for Jaime because Jaime saved his life. Like, Jaime set him free when he was supposed to die. So, I mean, he obviously has feelings for Jaime with good reason. You know what I mean? Like, when Sir, you know, I mean, this is going back a little bit, but back in I can't remember what episode it was, but it was in like season 4 when Oberyn goes down and talks to Tyrion in his cell. You know, he basically reveals that Cersei always hated Tyrion, whereas Jaime has kind of been there to, you know, have his back a little bit, because, you know, when Cersei was like, you know, in Oberyn's words, pinching his cock, you know, Jaime was the one that told her to stop, and Jaime's kind of been the one that's always had Tyrion's back, whereas Cersei's kind of been against him. So I think Tyrion, that's the great thing about the series too, is like it's not just like white and black, good and evil. It's very morally complex. There's a lot of gray area with a lot of these characters, and I think that that's the great thing about, you know, George R.R. Martin with the books and how they've done the show, is they've done a really good job of displaying some of those gray areas and really bringing out a lot of different feelings about certain characters.
Yeah, I think Jaime's more one of the more complex characters, because, you know, he's the Kingslayer, and everybody makes fun of him. But and I think it was what, season 2-ish, when he was captured, like they really like dug into the meat of that. Like he actually has morals. You know, like people think he's immoral or doesn't have, you know, values or, you know, courage or any, you know. This guy actually, there's a reason for everything he does. So
yeah, he obviously cares more about his family than he does his vows. And I mean, in all reality, like, how many people can say that they're different? You know what I mean? Like, how many people would say, you know, I'm going to defend this crazy person that I swore to protect over my family?
Yeah. So I thought it was an amazing episode. I guess to touch on one last thing, I guess to go back to why people follow Daenerys, they kind of touched on it with that scene with Miss Sandy, Davos, and Jon. You know, like. She set us free, like we follow her by choice, you know, and as I feel like people follow the Lannisters out of fear or maybe they're money hungry, they like to associate themselves with wealth. Like Bronn, you know, he's getting paid to fight with the Lannisters. So what's obviously going to be a stronger bond, it's going to be actual loyalty and not, you know, you're bought and paid for.
Yeah, I think that's another thing I really like about the show, is it seems like every episode now we see some kind of dichotomy. You know, like today it was, you know, the, you know, free loyalty or the bought loyalty. You know, that was kind of like the dichotomy. And it feels like every episode there's something that we talk about where it's kind of like, you know, you're seeing one side versus the other. So
yeah, agreed.
Yeah, well, I guess that'll wrap it up here for us. Thanks a lot for watching our first live stream here on Pure Delusion, as far as Game of Thrones goes, I guess.
Yeah, and this will occur after every episode. If you enjoy, please go to our YouTube channel, search Pure Delusion, or click the link if you're watching on Twitch. You can get there and subscribe, comment below anything you feel like we missed out on. I know Twitch audience, we don't have the best camera angle, but I see your chat over there, so I appreciate that. But yeah, that's it.
All right, well, thanks for watching, guys. See ya.
see you next week.